Welcome, everybody, to another 10-Minute Tuesday. I'm your host, Joey. We've got Cal, and then we've also got a special guest here today, Gavin. Now, do I hope that Hunter cut the camera when I did that? Yes. Did he do it? Yes. Oh, my God.
That's awesome. Nice job, Hunter.
Guys, this is going to be a unique 10-Minute Tuesday. We are going to talk about multiple topics very quickly, and you're going to get a very quick insight into our friendship, where you never finish a topic. So...
Bingo.
Cal's going to start us off.
Let's start it off. Okay, so I had a tip for this week that I think we should just do as part of this 10-Minute Tuesday. Something I was reading about and watched a video about recently. And that tip is when you're out hunting, just muddy the water a little bit. So go walk around in it, whatever it is. That's why you see guys that when they're hunting timber, not only are they shaking the water so they can get movement and ripples on the water, a big benefit of that also is getting that muddied up water that's kind of circulating, because when birds are flying over, they can tell if there's mud in the water anywhere, or if there's like activity where it's muddied up, or if it's just totally clear. So when birds are feeding, especially in shallow water, you're going to see a lot of muddied up water from above. And you can definitely look up videos so you can see it too. It's pretty obvious. And I think that birds definitely can key in on that if they're flying over, looking and checking something out a bunch of times, and nothing's muddied up.
Yeah, my dad would do that a bunch when I was younger. Just get in the decoys and kick around mud and whatever. And I mean, if they're acting finicky, I'd for sure try anything instead of moving the decoy spread 93 times. You know, I get sick of that.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's just a simple thing. Just something I thought people could think about. Hunter, I know you have kind of a nuance to this too.
Yeah, so this is not water, but it's field. So, I mean, a lot of, we hunt in Minnesota, so we hunt in the snow and stuff. So if you're trafficking out of a bean field, cornfield, tilled cornfield, whatever, kick some, dirt clumps around and throw some feeders, in a pile, looks super natural. I mean, you look into a feed when you're scouting, and you'll see bare dirt and stuff around the snow, and just looks more natural. Kind of the same concept as you.
Yeah, 100%.
You ever done anything like that, Gavin?
Oh, yeah. If we hunt silage, I'll throw fucking 40 decoys on that. Just right on the silage line. Right on the silage line, I'll pack feeders on the whole thing.
You kick any of the dirt around and stuff?
I've never kicked too much dirt around. I've done some that with snow, crushed it down.
Yeah.
I've never, kicked it open to find dirt. No, really? I have covered blood before, though, because I've had blood flare them.
Yeah.
So I'll cover blood up, shit like that. Never kicked it around. I've maybe moved around a little bit just to make it look like more traffic. But
I have something to add to yours. I went with Scott Trinan this year down at the pits in Rochester, and he actually brought a four-wheeler out and a little rake, or one of those pull-behind grade or whatever. He made obviously fake manure lines. Made two of them 30 yards on each side of the pit. Oh my God, they decoyed right on that.
Oh yeah,
it was actually pretty
That's
interesting.
So cool.
That makes sense though.
That's nutty.
That makes sense because mainly where we shoot when the snow hits around here is always in manure pits. It's always manure lines.
Yeah, it was super funny because Scott's before we throw decoys, everybody wait. And there's 14 guys. We filled the pit, and Scott comes ripping up the field with his four-wheeler, and he pulls a rake out of his trailer. And he just starts going back and forth. Everybody's looking at him what are you doing? And then he gets back. He's manure lines. And everybody's oh, my God, that's awesome. Yeah, and it was awesome. I mean, it's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Make fake manure lines, I guess.
Well, especially down by there with all the...
So those guys get fucking educated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, and there's so many refuge fields down there now, too, where they're baited, technically, so no one can hunt them. So if you can mimic...
something.
Essentially bait or, a food source.
I'd heard an old-timer one time tell me that if you hunt snow, he takes burlap, and he throws gravel on it, and he spray paints it, yellow, and lines it up. Looks like spilled corn. I've never tried it, but I've always wondered that.
That's cool.
Damn, that's crazy.
When I think about that, because now you bring up that, I think of that old timer, because I met him in North Dakota, in the middle of nowhere, and he goes, yeah. I asked about why he had burlap in the car. I was like, why do you have burlap in the back? He's like, oh, spray painted yellow. I go, what? He goes, spilled corn. I'm like, huh. That
Dude,
logic.
I never, dang.
Yeah.
I've never done it, but it makes sense to me.
Perfectly legal. It's perfectly legal.
Perfectly legal.
You know, one thing I read about too recently that's kind of crazy is I read that guys used to, back in the day when things would get pretty dried out, they would cut up plastic sheeting and lay it in weird shapes in a field. And then they would put tall grass right around the edges of it to make it look like it was a depression, because from above, it's got so much reflection off of it. and it's still dark, underneath, but it's not as dark as the actual black soil around it. So it looks like water.
I say I've actually done something similar to that.
I've done the tarp.
I've done the tarp on water.
There you go.
I've done the tarp on water before.
I only killed one duck in a field using a tarp, but it worked.
Did you use a blue tarp or a black tarp?
I used a blue.
We used a black tarp. We killed a limit of honkers by the house one year.
Really?
Me and Luke Kyle killed our 4.
We should do a video.
That'd be cool.
That'd be fun to
You should
try.
come do a video down on the river by my house. I'll go out there and shovel like a 50-yard by 60-yard, whatever, like make it look like an open water hole. Just throw like 12 dozen sleepers out there, and we'll like take a bucket of water or something if like we can't shovel it off really, really good, and just throw the water out there. Dude, they think it's like open water, and they come. I mean, you probably
right down.
Joe Hines has it on YouTube and stuff, like his videos like that. But
did you just say only 12 dozen sleepers? Like that's a small fucking amount.
I guess, yeah. We throw.
Bro, I run like
big
fucking
shows.
4 dozen tops.
We run a lot of sleeper shows.
Man,
with me and my buddies. Yeah.
Poor people can't afford that stuff.
I just run
the gear
4.
guy can't.
Just 4.
Yeah, no, I have like 6 to 12.
You have 6, 12 dozen?
12.
Total.
Oh,
a dozen, bro.
I was just saying,
Like
I was
half
saying-
a dozen.
I was like, where
to
the
a
fuck you
dozen.
been hiding 12 dozen? Because I ain't never
Sleeper
seen them.
silos.
God.
About the only thing you have in excess that I'm jealous of is fucking honker floaters.
Yeah.
Those
big
came
one.
in handy.
Yeah.
That was a dope opener spread I tossed.
Yeah, you need silhouettes, honker floaters, mallard floaters. Although pretty depleted in the mallard floaters department now.
Yeah. My dad, one of the years that it froze early on this little lake that I used to live on, I was complaining to my dad. I'm like, I can't duck hunt. There's still ducks around. They just won't land on the ice. And so him and I went to the pool store and grabbed blue dye and put it on the ice, and you would have never known that was not frozen. And I killed a limit of ducks that morning with my dad.
I say I've drilled holes in it and like scooped water up. Done it that way.
I didn't even have decoys because they look so weird, like laying on their side. And my dad's like, "Oh, they'll come in. This is the only open water." I'm like, "No way." And
those
it fucking worked.
Yeah, we should try that. You know those Avery like the 3/4 shells you put in the field?
Yes.
I was gifted like a dozen of those as a kid.
Mm.
We used to drill holes in the ice and put those on the ice to look like floaters.
Nice.
That's worked. And that's what I used with the tarp thing, and that's worked. But
Let's talk about fake bait real quick.
Okay.
One of the most dumbest shit I've ever seen is the corn cobs that Avery GHG would sell.
Dakota had.
Oh.
Or like when Dakota had the little, like the baby geese. You'd get like the baby
Do
geese in
people
the pack.
use those?
Oh, dude, I remember hunting with a kid who had those in the bag, and he like puts them on. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, oh, baby geese, good luck. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure.
That was before me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
You didn't know
You never
those?
seen those?
No.
Oh, those
I've
are
never
so
seen
Dakota
baby
used to have-
geese.
Dakota
I've
used
seen
to
the
have-
corn cobs, which is so
I've never-
weird.
Dakota used to have when you bought their like old school, their big one.
Yeah.
If you bought the Century pack, it was like a mom Century. It would come with fucking 2 little baby geese.
Like, we're not talking like goslings.
Yeah,
or
like goslings, like
Yeah,
like
like
a
your little
12-inch
yellow
tall
geese.
goslings you'd get.
like a yellow.
Like a
decoy.
yellow gosling, like 12 inches tall.
I'm
yeah.
I need to see a picture. Are you pulling one up?
Yeah, please.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
they're-
can't believe it.
What?
Have you
Yeah.
seen fake corn cobs?
No, dude.
What? You never seen Avery still advertises you can
No.
buy it.
They look ridiculous.
If you
It's
buy
ridiculous.
a flocking kit from Avery, they send you
the
2
fuck?
free fake corn cobs.
Bro, that is
that's
wild.
fucking
Show Hunter that.
wild.
What?
Show him on the screen. You can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. If you bought that was like a mother's pack you could buy. You'd get
That
2 and
is
they'd give you 6
wild.
babies.
So
my
ridiculous.
God.
Those are a collector's item now, like my DSDs. I bet you could sell
So
those fuckers for a
bogus.
lot of money.
Dude, I want one. I'll
Yeah.
throw that thing out early season. Are you kidding me, dude?
Dude, North Dakota.
Little gosling.
August
Few
15th.
fake corn cobs.
I
It
threw
might
like 12
work.
dozen of them things out
I
there.
did see my first goslings today.
Did you?
Yeah, right in Roseville.
I've seen
Or
some
Roosevelt,
baby
the
ducks
golf
now.
course.
Baby
Don't let
ducks.
me- Yeah.
I haven't seen baby ducks, but I've
Dude.
seen 12 goslings.
I saved a baby duck the other day.
Really?
I didn't tell you guys about this. In my parking lot in Golden Valley. And it's underneath the stairs, and Nick's like, Joey, come out here. There's a dead baby duck. I'm like, oh. Go outside, and it's like, how did you get there? Because there's no water anywhere near it. And I'm like, oh, man. And then it starts moving. I'm like, oh, shit. It's still alive. And he's like, well, what do we do? Can I raise it? I'm like, no, Nick. You can't raise it. We're going to go put it in the water somewhere. He's like, well, isn't he just going to die in the water? He's like, better than living with you.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
for sure.
For sure.
So then I put some gloves on and took it to the water's edge, and then it started swimming. And I'm like, we did such a good thing today.
That thing got eaten by a fucking northern pike in 5
No,
minutes.
it's a pond on Section 8 housing, so it might get eaten there, but not by a fish.
Poor people.
I pull up and there's an old Russian man. No, it's not like this is not poor people. These are like people who just got here,
Fresh
like,
off the
they're
boat.
all Russian. Every single one of them. They're all 90. I don't know how. They're just like
trying to survive the gulag.
he's like they have a weird garden out there too. That they all just grow their own crops. It's
Yep,
a ginormous garden.
Yep.
And I look at this guy and he's like, "Oh, good." As I'm carrying the duck to water, he like took like 25 seconds. Just his face just lit up. And he started yelling good at the top of his lungs because I would already walk
They're like,
past
thank
him.
you for bringing me next meal. Thank you, sir.
Unbelievable, dude.
Put it in a stew.
He bring baby duck to water and he does duck in water.
Bull rat.
I am not Borat, I am Boris. Okay.
It's unbelievable.
They're trying to survive the gulag, so they come to America.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for listening to another 10-Minute Tuesday. This one went off the fucking rails, but YouTube said the F word.
You say the F word too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lectured me for cussing when you guys had the cinematic guys out. You should fucking take your own advice.
You know what? Before you go anywhere, one more thing.